The member from Oshawa.
Thank you, Speaker. And my question is to the Premier. The government has had 15 years to create universal pharmacare. They've had 15 years to create dental care for everyone. Can the Premier explain why her government has ignored these issues for a decade and a half?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. We have been working on expanding the Healthy Smiles program, Mr. Speaker. We have been working on and creating access to dental care. We understand that it's a gap, Mr. Speaker. I would ask the member opposite why it's taken until this week for them to even raise the issue in this legislature.
Member from Hamilton, East Stony Creek is warned. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. The Premier says she believes in making sure that Ontarians have dental care. But in 2014, she tried to make it harder to access the Healthy Smiles program for low-income kids. She says seniors should have easier access to their medications, but she tried to raise fees for seniors who need prescription medications just 2 years ago. Her newfound interest in these issues is just another cynical election ploy, and Ontario families know that. Why does it take an election and your government's impending end to finally notice people's needs?
Mr. Speaker, the member opposite knows full well that we have been working on expanding access to dental care. The Healthy Smiles program has been expanded across the province, Mr. Speaker. We know that there's more to be done, and I ask that the member opposite pay close attention to the budget this afternoon and then stand up and vote for a progressive budget in this legislature.
Final supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker, and everyone in this room pays pretty close attention. And if a government believes in investing, it invests. If a government believes in cutting, it cuts. And, Speaker, the best predictor of future behaviour is past behaviour, and I would like to remind us of what this government has done. This government let child care fees become the highest in the country. They've ignored dental care for a decade and a half. They've ignored universal pharmacare. They've cut health care. They've cut education. They've privatized hydro. Premier, your legacy is 15 years of cuts, purposeful neglect and privatization, and we won't let you do more damage. Premier, Ontario is worse off because of your government. How can you possibly be good with that?
Thank you. Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Premier.
You know, Mr. Speaker, I'm very proud that I'm part of a party that has always had education in their platform. Mr. Speaker, the last platform, I don't remember one word about education, Mr. Speaker. And if present action or future action can be predicted by past action, Mr. Speaker, $600 million was going to come out of health and education, according to that party. Mr. Speaker, we have consistently invested in health care and education, Mr. Speaker. The kids in this province are getting an education that is second to none in the world, Mr. Speaker. People come from all over the world to see how we run our education system. When we came into office under the previous Premier, the graduation rate in this province was 68%, Mr. Speaker. It is now 86.5%. Kids are graduating and they are going on to post-secondary, Mr. Speaker, and they're accessing free tuition because of the actions that this government has taken.
Be seated, please. Be seated, please.